Hey everybody, it's Tim with GymCrafter.com, and it's that time again, time for another 5-Minute Friday, where we take 5 minutes, we put it on this clock, and we try and give you one tip that'll make your gym a better place to be and a more effective place to train. So let's get into it. All right, let's get 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. This is a topic that's come up quite a bit lately with the folks that I'm training here in the garage, and that's the topic of shoes. A lot of people ask what's the best shoes to train in, and the right answer to that is most answers are it depends. But for most people, when you're resistance training, there is one specific type of shoe that tends to be better than others, and that's what's called a zero drop shoe. Something like these from a company called Xero. What a zero drop shoe is it's a shoe that doesn't have a higher heel than toe, and it allows you to get all your contact points on the ground completely flat. You're not changing the angle of your foot while you're lifting, which can be dangerous. A lot of the folks that show up here to train, they show up in these running shoes with these big, high, poofy heels, these Hoka shoes that look almost like platform shoes. And those might be great for running and walking around, but they're not necessarily the best for foot stability, ankle stability, and especially if you're doing things like squatting and deadlifting. So a pair of shoes like this will really help you get the most out of your training. Now, I like the Xero shoes. They have a nice wide toe box, which is another thing that you want in a set of shoes for lifting. You want your feet to be able to really grip the ground. You don't want your toes all crammed up in there. You want basically 3 points of contact, your heel, and then 2 points across the front, kind of like a tripod. When your toes are all crammed up and your heel's up off the ground, it's really hard to get that connection point with the ground. Now, if you're doing things like CrossFit training and things like that, you might want to use a pair of kind of cross-training shoes. These are Reebok Nanos. I trained in these for years. These are almost zero drop. You can see that there's a little bit of a heel, but it's very, very minor. Your foot really is flat. Again, nice wide toe box. You can see I wore these for quite a while. I don't think that the Nanos are as good as they used to be. My first pair of Nanos lasted a lot longer than these. But the point is that based on the type of training that you do, you're going to want a pair of shoes that match the activity that you're doing. And your running shoes should be for running, your lifting shoes should be for lifting, if that's something that fits in the budget, obviously. Now, if you just need one pair of all-around shoes and you're on a budget, Chuck Taylors have always been a staple in the gym. You see a lot of folks wearing them in there. But what I'm getting at is you want to take some time, do a little bit of research, and find out what's best for you. Now, I'm not going to be your best source of information for that. And what you'll notice on the GymCrafter.com site, as well as here on the YouTube channel, I try and stay in my lane and just stick to things that I know. And while I'll put a link to the Xero shoes in the description below, because these are the ones that I like to train in, there's better people out there for helping you select shoes. So that's why I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Jake Boley. He runs a site called thatfitfriend.com. I'll put a link to that down below. It is hands down the best shoe site on the internet. I am not affiliated with Jake other than knowing him. But the reason I don't have shoe content on my site is because of his site. Some things have happened recently where it's really important for us to now point this out. I used to just send people to his site, but I think it's really important to make this public and let everybody know that if you're looking for shoes, thatfitfriend.com is probably the best way to find shoes that are perfect for your feet, your particular uses, and really just the best reviews online of shoes. So my 5-Minute Friday tip for today is to wear the right shoes in your gym, but to find the right shoes, really take advantage of that resource at thatfitfriend.com. Again, the link's in the description below. In 4 minutes, I got a minute to spare, but I won't keep rambling. I'll save my rambling for another video. So once again, thanks for joining me. I'm Tim from GymCrafter, and until next Friday, have a great week.